Hi and welcome back to my channel. This is the third time of me filming this. I've filmed it twice and both times it hasn't saved. So we're going to try again because persistence is key. This is my little story time of a little stalker story that I have hidden up my sleeve of a time we went out recently. So I'm just going to get straight into it. So basically what happened was a couple of my friends came down from university and we decided to go out for the night, go to town, relive our fresher experience from year one. So we invited a few of my secondary school friends as well. They got a lift with a guy that we're going to call Henry. Now Henry decides that he wants to come clubbing too, so he parks up the car, we all go into the club, we're all dancing. Henry and one of my university friends that I'm going to call Rachel get on very, very well. They're having a little flirt, little drink, little dance, you know, everything's going smoothly and we're just having a really good night. And it gets to about 2:30 and we decide, you know what, we're worn out, we're going out tomorrow night as well, we need to save our energy. So we're going to head over to the chicken shop and get that food so we're not so hungover the next day. So we leave the club, Rachel says goodbye to Henry and we walk over to the chicken shop opposite. So we get to the chicken shop, picking out our orders and turn around and Henry's there. Henry has followed us to the chicken shop. You know, fine, whatever, maybe he's hungry, he wanted chicken too, but he hasn't seemed to have brought any of his other friends with him. We all ordered chicken and then he asks me where I live and I'm thinking, this is a little bit odd, I don't know you. I had never met the guy before, none of us had apart from some of my secondary school friends. So I tell him like roughly the area, no not specific details, and he goes, oh, I live around there too, probably like 5 minutes away from you, do you mind if I get the taxi with you? And if I hadn't have had my boyfriend Christian there, I would have been like, hell no. I have heard the horror stories of boys getting in taxis with girls and let me just say that they don't leave the taxi. Like that is their, what do you call it, their hearse to their funeral. So Christian was there, so I felt sorry for the guy. Oh my gosh, the sun has gone. Ugh. Do I wait? We'll carry on and hopefully it will return. I'll just look very grey for the moment. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so felt sorry for the guy, he was by himself, so we said, you know what, sure, get a taxi with us, we'll get out at my house and you can carry on and just pay for your last leg of the journey, which wasn't going to be expensive obviously if he lives 5 minutes away. So we all hop in a taxi, we're completely soaked, pouring with rain, not the best end of the night, but we get to my house, we all hop out, I'm about to put my key in the door, when I turn around, Henry's got out of the car as well, and I'm thinking, okay, how's he going to get home? It's like maybe he doesn't have enough money and he's going to walk, but we've all seen him use debit cards to buy us drinks all night, so it was a bit odd, a little bit odd. So him and Rachel start talking again and I'm thinking, I'm not putting my key in the door. Like, I'm having 3 people around, Christian and my 2 friends from university. There's nowhere for him to sleep. My parents are in bed upstairs and I don't know the guy. Like, how can I let him in my parents' house if I don't even know what his last name is at this point. So yeah, he gets out the car, him and Rachel are talking, and then he kind of says his goodbyes and starts walking off. So I'm like, great, open the door. Now it's mission impossible to get to the kitchen, right? Because my stepdad is such a sleeper, is such a light sleeper and he hates being woken up. So we're all tiptoeing into the kitchen. Meanwhile, Rachel's phone is going buzz, buzz, buzz. And by the time we get to the kitchen, she's missed like 4 calls from him or something. And she doesn't want to pick up because she's a little bit freaked out, but too polite to tell him that she's freaked out. So I pick up the phone and I'm like, hey, what's up? He's like, oh my gosh, hey, I'm lost. I've got no money. I'm under a bush. Like he wasn't even that drunk that I remember. He was like a bit tipsy, but we all were. And I'm just thinking, this dude's just trying to get in my house. Like, he obviously wants to finish his night off with Rachel, which isn't going to happen because Rachel and my other university friend are sharing a room anyway and sharing a bed. So, you know, the logistics aren't really there. So I basically say, clean it out right so that he understands, I'm very sorry, but you're not coming in my house. I don't know who you are. You know my address. Get a taxi home. And he goes, no, 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 I don't know your address, I don't know your address. I'm thinking, okay, you stood outside my house 2 minutes ago. So I say, being a bit sympathetic for him, I'll text you my address so that you can get a taxi from my house, you know where it is, you've just been there, and you can get a taxi home. And he goes, okay, cheers, thanks, hangs up the phone. thinking, what is this guy doing? Like lying under a bush? It's so confusing. And within 15 minutes we get a text saying that he's home, like he got the taxi home. But he still persists to text Rachel the next day, and it's just like, oh, don't understand. So yeah, that's my little stalker story. It was rather a maintained one, like a low-key stalker, creepy guy, but you know, he probably just really liked Rachel and just wanted a good night. The sun has come back. So yeah, I just wanted to tell you this story because I'm sure there's loads of you that have experienced the same thing, and so you can relate to my story, and also there's a few things to learn from it, I guess. The main one probably being to establish like your expectations if you're trying to hook up with someone in the club. So if you get to the point where it's like, okay, bye, I'm leaving, I'm going home to bed, or you can be like, hey, do you want to come home with me? Like, wink wink. But yeah, so establish that early on, so to avoid the disappointment of when you get out the taxi and realise you have no way to get home. I'd also say don't let any guy in your cab with a bunch of girls unless there is another strong man there to assist in any case of creepiness. I would also say if there is a creepy guy like trying to make a move at you and he is a bit drunk, you just have to be not rude, but you have to be very direct in what you're trying to say, because more often than not they're not really listening, you know, everyone's a bit out of it. So in my case I just said, I'm really sorry, you are not coming in my house. Full stop, that end of story. There's no way he can argue with that, you know. So you could say the same thing as in, I'm really sorry, you are not getting a taxi with me. I'm really sorry, I'm leaving on my own, you know. Just be aware of the men around you. Not that all men are like that on a night out. I don't want to be like men bashing here. But yeah, it was just a little silly story that I thought I would share with you. I hope you have enjoyed this and you found it entertaining, and if you have, please remember to hit the like button and subscribe down below if you're new, because I would love to have you join our little YouTube family over here. Oh, the sun! Rule number 1, don't film on an overcast day. And thank you very much for watching. Bye! It's really funny, the viewfinder's got like a little box following my head. It's great. I feel like, oh my gosh, what was that game? Caterpillar? Worm? The Nokia game? Where you just like eat the box?